Welcome back to Keeping It Fresh. I'm Aron Geml, and I know you're probably thinking when you read the title for this show, no, this is no trick with Halloween right around the corner with it, Halloween being tomorrow. Now, I am very honored to introduce my next guest. She is a proud member of the University of Texas swimming team, along with recently earning a silver medal at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris by swimming in the women's 4x200 meter freestyle relay. It's the extremely talented and gifted Miss Erin Gemmell. So before we dive into it, Erin, I think it's pretty evident that I think Aron Geml is a pretty great name. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's a 10 out of 10 name right there. Oh, I think you got it right on the last name. People are always forgetting double letters.
No, hey, both names superb, superb, superb. It's awesome. It's a great name. So again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule talking with me. So take me through the beginning. How did you get involved with swimming? What led you to love the sport so much that it led you to the University of Texas?
Yeah, so basically my entire family growing up was a swimming family. My parents both swam in college. My dad is still a swim coach, and my brother also swam throughout the entirety of high school and then college. So I think I was just kind of surrounded by it the entire time. And, my parents always said, like, you don't have to swim if you don't want to. But, when everyone around you was doing it, like, I was like, okay, like, I'll do this now.
Yeah, and obviously at a very young age, you became very good at it, and so much so that you were qualifying for the world championships and stuff like that at such a young age. So now, with that being said, take me through the Olympic qualifiers in Indianapolis. I know they transformed Lucas Oil Stadium, which is a rocking football palace, into a huge, huge pool for you guys to qualify. And what was that overall experience like for you, especially when you found out that you were going to Paris?
I think it's like pretty overwhelming. Swimming, a lot of people forget swimming exists when it's not an Olympic year, and so I think it's not necessarily always the sport where the biggest spotlight is always on you, but then going and swimming in a football stadium, obviously that's the biggest crowd that anyone there had ever swum in front of, and it can be kind of a lot of pressure, but it also makes it a lot more fun. I think you kind of get to pretend that you're a rock star for a second, and it's just like a fun experience to have. And then once I like kind of found out that I was going to Paris, I mean, people use the word surreal too much, but I think it's the only really way to describe it is it's something you dream about, but you never really think it's actually going to happen to you.
Yeah, I mean, and you mentioned talking about just it could be a ton of pressure. Just how do you mentally deal with that type of pressure?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I think a lot of it you have to kind of go in with like no expectations in a way, just kind of going out there and like doing your best instead of going out there and saying, I have to do this specific thing, I have to do this specific thing, like just reminding myself that I'm prepared and I'm just kind of going out there to have fun.
Yeah, and so now you're on the flight to Team USA, heading to France. You arrive in Paris. Take me through the sights and sounds of the area you were in, where the Olympic Village was at. Did you guys get to go sightsee? Did you guys get to sightsee as Team USA?
I didn't get to go sightsee at all. Basically, once you finish swimming, you have to go support your teammates at all the other sessions. And, swimming works prelims finals every single day. So there wasn't really a lot of time for that. But definitely the village is a unique environment because there's all these people from all these different countries that, like, you might not even remember exist. And I think something that's really unique about it is the little pin trading that everyone does, getting to, like swap pins with all the countries. And it's just super fun to have like those little pieces of those countries when you get back to the US.
Yeah, man. And how many pins did you end up getting?
I traded away all of my US pins except for one. So a lot,
Wow,
I guess.
awesome. And how many countries did you would say you got?
I have them all like stuck into the wall of my dorm room. So I'm trying to picture it. Probably like 30 maybe.
Wow, 30.
25, 20, somewhere in there.
Awesome. And so, Erin, now this is my favorite part. This is favorite part of the interviews. This is my favorite segment I've been doing with so many guests over the years. It's called Rapid Fire 7. Just quick rapid fire, just one or two word answers, just to get to know you, just to know this Aron Geml. What is your favorite post training slash meet meal that you like to go to?
Pasta.
Knew it. I knew it. I swam in high school, and that was my number one too. I loved it.
Yeah.
What is the last song you listen to before you get up on the block for a meet?
Applause by Lady Gaga.
Interesting. Favorite memory out of the pool in Paris? It could be anything.
Making bracelets for one of my suite mates' future Taylor Swift concerts.
Okay. Favorite thing to do in your free time when you're not studying for classes, studying for exams, or you're not in the pool? What's the number one thing you like to do?
Read.
Favorite book? Favorite series?
Um, if we're being serious, The Secret History. If we're not being serious, Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Well, it makes sense. Red, white, and royal blue. That's exactly what you represent. It's what you did this summer. So, speaking of that, what you did in your summer. So, number 5 for you. Where is your silver medal at this moment right now? Is it in your dorm? Is it at home? Where is it?
It is sitting on my parents' dining room table.
Is that and that's back in Maryland?
Yes.
And that's back in Maryland. Okay. If you weren't an Olympic swimmer and could compete in any other sport for a medal, what would it be?
I think archery would be fun. Wouldn't be very good at it, but it'd be fun.
Archery. Okay. And lastly, your favorite tradition that the University of Texas has.
This isn't the university as a whole, but my team does line dances a lot at meets.
Your team, really? Your line.
Yeah.
That's it. Wow, that's interesting. I've never. I'm trying to think of a other sport where when they celebrate, they do that. I've never heard, and especially swimming, I've never heard of that before. So that's really cool. So now, Erin, getting to the main event, the 4x200. Before you, Katie, Paige, and Claire went to the pool deck. What's going through your mind before you guys all head out? Were you guys nervous at all?
I mean, you're always a little nervous. I think it'd be crazy not to be, but we were like really not supposed to win. I don't think any of them would disagree with that. I mean, we were against the Australians, like current world record holders, seeded to beat us by something like over 8 seconds. So we were just kind of going out there to have fun. And like, I don't know, it's just a lot more fun when there's four of you in the ready room instead of one. I think it's a lot easier to calm your nerves that way.
Yeah, because you have 3 other teammates just to bounce that off with, and just collectively as a group just calm down. When it's just you, it's literally it's just you representing the country. So I can understand that. I can't even understand the amount of butterflies that would be going through my system. I have to be honest, I could never imagine. So with the most decorative woman swimmer in Katie Ledecky on the third leg, she finishes, you jump in, finish it out. What's going through your mind in the water, the midst of your leg, and your thoughts when you touched the wall and realized that you guys just took second? You guys just won a silver.
A lot of don't mess this up because once everyone else has already gone, like anything I do, it feels more permanent, right? Because I'm the last person to go. And then just kind of once I touch the wall, a lot of like enjoy this. This is the Olympics. Like you just won an Olympic medal. Like make sure to take everything in, stuff like that.
Yeah, and especially like you said, even though you guys counted, you guys said, okay, we're not supposed to play, not supposed to place. You guys took second in that event. I mean, you guys had an well balanced relay team all around. And I wanted to ask you what made, what was the decision to make you the final leg of that relay?
I think I've heard our head coach Todd DeSorbo. I've heard that he likes to put the newbies first and last, which is kind of like a controversial decision. Usually you're trying to hide people who don't know what they're doing in second and third on relays, but he says that it's because the person who goes first is just doing a normal 200 freestyle, off of a regular start, whatever. And then the person who's going last just has to bring it home. Doesn't have to like focus on the strategy of the 200 free as much, stuff like that. So I got put last and I said, okay, let's go.
Yeah, and especially like I said earlier with Katie Ledecky being, third. I mean, as I can't imagine just, not only winning a medal with her, but just being a teammate, just being, you know, you know, uh, just living along, in a sense, living alongside her in the Olympic Village, training with her, and just overall, just probably she's probably a role model to you, and she's a role model to every young swimmer in this country.
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously an amazing swimmer. That's kind of an understatement at this point, but
At this
she's
point, yeah.
also she's also a great teammate. I've like never met anyone more humble, more happy for everyone else's successes. And obviously she's such a veteran in the sport that she just has so much wisdom and so many words of advice to give, people who haven't been there before, who have never been in an Olympic final before, like how to manage it all.
Yeah. And so now it's over. You guys are dried off and stuff. It's time for the medal ceremony. Take me through the medal ceremony for the people that that watch the ceremonies but don't get to see all of it, like the behind the scenes stuff and stuff like that. And tell me what was it like when you had when that silver medal was placed around your neck, knowing that you guys were Olympic champions.
Yeah, I mean, the medal ceremony for relays, I think, is always a little chaotic because it's the last event of the evening. So then there's not another buffer event. So you have more time. So the turnaround is pretty quick. So it's a lot of like, we're running, we have to do media, we have to put on all of our podium gear, we have to like run up to the podium. I didn't have socks on. It was a whole thing. Um, but
Hey, I
I
couldn't tell.
think yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just gonna be in my brain forever though. So I think like once I was up there and they're like putting the medal on, I think that's like really when it sunk in. I mean, people talk about all the time, they're like, oh, it'll hit you at like different points that you're at the Olympics, but I think it really took until I was like up there, like getting the medal, the music is playing, like the flag with the Olympic rings was like straight across from where the podium was. So I could like see it. And that was I'm not really like a happy cry kind of girly. Like that's not me. Usually when I'm happy, I'm just happy. But that was the only time like the whole meet that I almost cried. I didn't, but I
Almost,
almost cried.
almost. Nope, nope, that doesn't count. But I just it was unbelievable to watch. Not only you compete, but just you guys getting that ceremony and seeing so many Americans there in Paris supporting you guys. I mean, how loud was that that facility that you guys were in to swim during those meets? Because even on the broadcast, it was loud.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty loud, especially like we had a lot of supporters, but when the French came out to swim, like it was crazy. And I just can't like they're putting swimming for 2028 in SoFi Stadium. And
Another
like,
football.
yeah, the thought of like swimming in front of like an American crowd of like 30,000 people is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and you led me to my next one. Is a big. Everyone wants to know: are you planning on competing in 2028 in Los Angeles?
I mean, 4 years is a really long time, so we'll see. But like I'd love to, honestly, like a home Olympics would be amazing.
Yeah, and especially because when a place like SoFi holding, I think SoFi's capacity is like 65, 70,000 people when they host football. So I could probably imagine maybe 10 or 15, maybe 10, 5 or 10 grand more for swimming because it's more condensed and stuff like that. So that would be unbelievable if, it'd be so fantastic if you can get, if you can get there. I have, I've watched this entire Olympics. There's no doubt in my mind you can get there. You're probably one of the most talented swimmers I've seen. And since I started watching swimming when I was really, really little. And, it's credit to you, credit to your coaching staff and all that stuff. So, and lastly for you, Aaron, with you being back now in Texas, been back to the college life, and how excited are you now that you're back with your team prepping for your collegiate season coming up?
So excited. I think last year, I was a freshman. It's a lot of new things. It's a lot of like a new routine, a new place. And on top of that, I was like super worried about the Olympics the whole time. So I think getting to go into this year and more just be in the moment with my team and focused more on like the now and not the future, I'm really excited to be able to do that.
Yeah, and this what, and also just I've seen your posts online. You've been going to Longhorn football games, and the atmosphere. I know the atmosphere at Texas is unbelievable. Probably one of the best in the country. And as a Michigan State fan, I thank you guys for going into Michigan and absolutely destroying them a couple weeks ago. So thank you for that. And plus you have Arch as your quarterback. So I mean that's awesome. That your guys' program, that all your athletic programs are doing so well. I mean it's Texas, everyone's used to it. But you just and lastly, Aaron, just I wanted to ask you, what are you majoring in at the University of Texas?
So my major is Plan 2, and I will explain for anyone who is not in the state of Texas. It's so all of the other majors at the University of Texas are Plan 1, and Plan 2, which is my major, is a sort of like liberal arts honors kind of thing where it's very multidisciplinary. We do a little bit of everything. I have like a required biology class, but I also have a required philosophy class. And then I do a thesis at the end of it.
Okay, so whenever your swimming days are done, like you said, living in the moment, who not looking to the future, so who knows how long it will be. Hopefully it'll be for a long time. But when you decide to, move on from the pool, what do you want to do? What do you want to do with your major? What do you want to do? What do you want to do with your life after your career?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know yet. I think like
That's all
obviously
right.
my major is kind of like everything. So I've got some options, but I don't know. I thought about like law school and stuff. I like school, so I wouldn't mind going to more school.
Again, Aaron, thank you so much for your time. It was really a pleasure. It was really a pleasure getting to know you, getting to know about your career and stuff like that. So, once again, best of luck to you this season. Stay healthy. Looking forward to tuning in whenever it's on TV, or I'll find a way to watch UT swimming. And welcome horns.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you. Wow, what an unbelievable interview that was. Just getting to know Erin, just getting to know how she fell in love with the sport, her getting to Texas and then going to qualifying in Indianapolis, going to Paris, winning a silver medal with Katie Ledecky, and hopefully she will be competing in the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. So that will do it for this installment of Keeping It Fresh. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and find me on Spotify as well. And I will catch you all in the next one. Till then, as always, keep it fresh.